Hello, and thanks for watching Self-Critical, where a group of agrophobic friends come together to RP actually going outside. I'm once again your humble Dungeon Master, Andrew Purcell, and this is our hopeful heroes. Say hello, hopeful heroes.
Hello, hopeless heroes.
This is the beginning of Chapter 2 of the Witchlight Carnival. Last episode, they stepped through the portal. And here they find themselves in the Hither. Right? As you guys were leaving, it was the end of the night at the Witchlight Carnival. The sun was about to rise. Dahlberg, as you were stepping through, you had the monarch crown upon your head. As you step through, it vanishes. Those you wouldn't know, but it magically reappears at the end of each night, back into the box like they had explained. Some of you may have remembered that. Seems as you transitioned through this portal, either the sun was coming up or that was another effect. But you guys, you still have the charm that was bestowed upon you. It's just the crown itself that's gone. So yes,
You don't have your pretty.
My pretty.
You all step through. Last one, Onyx, brochure in hand. You stand at the edge of a raised and broken causeway under a hazy twilight sky. The causeway, which is built from pale stones that glow faintly from within, towers over the surrounding landscape, but large sections of it have crumbled away. The parts that remain in place are separated by large gaps where portions have collapsed. A fog-shrouded swamp spreads out below you in all directions, and up from this murk wafts the smell of rotting plants. Also, rising from the swamp is the music of nature, a discordant symphony of croaking frogs and singing birds. You guys find yourself on this bridge. The portal behind you blinks away as Onyx steps through. You can see in the distance, this is definitely not the material plane. This is the Feywild. The sun, always locked in an almost setting twilight scene, slightly disorienting, as it never seems to move. But does it? You look out and you can see several things as high up as you are. A tower in the distance, probably being barely just the silhouette of this tower in the distance, because though we can see it on the map, that thick fog does obscure a lot. So at best, maybe the slightest silhouette. But what would you guys like to do? Having spent the entire night up and having fun.
Long rest.
Long rest, definitely.
Yes.
Not on the bridge, but we'll
Well,
move up a little
Oh,
bit.
I think we're on the
be,
bridge.
I'd rather be on top of the bridge, this
you
broken
don't know
bridge,
what's
instead
down
of being
there.
in a swamp.
And not knowing.
I mean,
I don't want to deal with
Woolly
with
boogers?
leeches the size of goblins.
Before we just decide to camp up and say we're going to have a long rest, I'm going to have a look around, just kind of walk the area, kind of stay close to the group, make sure it's safe.
Okay. Give me a perception.
19 plus 4, 23.
23. As you look around, you look over the sides, you look in the sky, you're checking for, threats that may be around. Something you notice is that as you go to peer over the edge, there's actually like handholds and footholds on the edge of this bridge, and probably about 10 feet down is a series of large shelf-like mushrooms that looks easy enough to just kind of, clamber or walk down if you really wanted to. But it's this bridge is about 100 feet above, and it's about 20 feet wide. And at the moment, it seems relatively safe. Nothing's up there except for you guys, and you seem to have a pretty good vantage point of anything up above. So at the moment, it seems.
Okay.
Simple enough.
With the fairy with its back to me while it's looking over the edge, I push it off.
Do you really?
Make an attack. Make a shove attack.
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
12.
Does that meet your AC?
No.
Well, you feel a shove from the Genasi. You very quickly, like,
Just-
A lit
I slowly
handed
turn it back and start turning it into taps on the back. You can fly. What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I can fly.
Just so you know, I never forget.
Oh, you
Except for when it comes to times you can fly.
That's literally the only reason I did it.
you kind of it's and
Pound Sandy's.
it's not like this is going to be of strategic value, but more for flavor. How would you guys like to set up? Preparing for this long rest. Does anybody have like a bedroll or a tent, or just kind of like a? You can just describe how you want
So-
to do it, more or less.
So I do have an explorer's pack, but I will ask the party. Well, it seems like we're doing this together now. I'll keep this as a group vote, even though one of those I'll probably cast away. Seems like we're pretty safe up here, but there does seem to be almost like some mushroom caps leading down. We can either camp up here, or kind of out of sight, just in case someone else gets teleported on top of the bridge. We can hide on top of the mushroom caps.
Yeah. Mushrooms get all moist and they're clammy.
It would keep us out of sight.
Especially when it hits morning time and the dew hits them.
I get that.
I don't want to be in a wet bed.
But I don't want
wet
to
my
be
bed
in
enough.
pure line of sight just in case someone else comes through a portal or manages to find their way up here.
Bridge, hard and sturdy. Mushroom, soft and squishy.
I thought you were a sorcerer. I thought that was a
From
barbarian.
the perspective of someone who could fly, probably not that big of a deal. Having 20 feet with a barrier that you could toss and turn on, probably better than 4 to 5 feet with a drop off. But hey, I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to bridge for right now. I mean, we'll have somebody looking if somebody shows up in the distance.
Less likely to die from leeches.
Or anything
Dysentery.
else.
Okay.
Risk
So the bridge it is.
Bridge it is.
risk
Now-
getting poisoned by mushroom
Here's the
spores.
thing, y'all. Did we ever get our stuff back from the entry? From the entrance of the Feywild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't remember
Got
that?
all your stuff?
That's when they were giving us all the provisions and stuff.
Yeah.
With the backpack,
Oh, okay.
What's in those provisions anyway? You just said they gave us a bag of provisions. Like, is it just food? Or...
I don't think I said they gave you a bag of provisions. They gave you advice.
Well, you
Right?
said,
But
and
if
we
you
asked
wanna-
for some provisions and stuff.
You've got stuff, right? You've got a bunch of things. What
I
did
mean-
you guys bring from the carnival?
I mean, I
Right?
basically
you guys got
have.
some prizes. You got some wands. I'm sure you picked up some candy.
I mean,
or
the backpack I
something.
normally carry with me does have enough for me to take care of
Oh,
myself.
now,
Sleep-
as far as like ration, right? I'm not going to say
Oh,
you
no,
guys
no,
have no food.
I
Yeah.
wasn't saying like that. I was like, because like they said they'd give us some stuff for the journey.
They gave you advice.
yeah.
Y'all are the worst negotiators ever.
Didn't hear your ass talking.
Because y'all talk too much.
But no, I do have some stuff that can help
Especially
me
this
sleep
one.
better at night. I don't know about y'all.
That's why I gotta.
So after a little bit of time goes by and you guys are kind of chatting and kind of setting up where you want to be comfortable, all right, one of the things that kind of stands out of below you, aside from the sounds of nature and the occasional bird or pond skogging or something flapping by, every few hours you'll start to hear like a bloop, 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 and it just sounds disgusting.
Oh, we're in the
Right.
swamp, guys.
The
It's just
swamp-
the gas.
The waft itself, like, just gets stirred up. You can smell it even this high up. Something
Smells
very
like
viscous
Mama
seems
Jama
to be
is cooking.
happening down below. And any of you who happen to look
He's
over
describing it perfectly.
might just see far enough that, like, where the ground was muddy and mucky, like, at certain parts of the night, it kind of fills up and water just mostly stagnant, but kind of washes by some. You might see like some driftwood or something, and then like after a few hours,
Okay,
and
so
you see all the water just starts getting sucked back away. every
okay,
few
so
hours.
aquifers don't work like that. So there's something down there.
That's just a swamp, my dude.
But yeah, the night goes by.
It's 100 feet
so-
away. We're good.
Right,
So,
yeah.
no, instead of me, like, since I'm for flavor, can I just be like when I'm sleeping, just like levitating a little bit? Not like levitate,
Right,
just
just
a
a
little bit
little
off the ground.
So that it's not as uncomfortable on the
Yeah.
rock.
Can you hold concentration while you're asleep?
If
It's just
you
flavor.
would roll me a D8, I'll give that to you. I want you to roll high. Everyone else wants you to roll low.
That'd be funny if you roll low.
2,
Not one.
2.
8.
Dang it.
That's bad.
If you don't, I'm gonna give you DM's inspiration. If you already get it, you get a second one. Okay. Thank you for that 8. Right. Does anybody else want to do anything over this long?
No, with the DM's inspiration, do I have to use it by the end of this session? Because
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
You just keep track of that. But I would love
because that
it-
would be my second one because I
would
had
love
to
it
use
if
the other
you
ones.
did use it at some point, if I give you that opportunity.
I think I'll probably just set up my
But I do levitate,
I'll give you a little. I'll give you.
just a little.
I'll give you like 6 inches to
Yeah,
a foot.
like-
Yeah,
like
just
little-
enough. You know,
Not
6
this, but
inches. Okay.
I think I'll probably just set up my bedroll and kind of set my stuff next to the kind of the barriers against the bridge. That way, my back is turned towards the edge of the bridge, so nothing
Okay.
can come to me from that side.
I would love. Is there anything anyone else wants to do for this long rest? I love all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Doesn't somebody get advantage on wisdom saves out of y'all? Oh, wait a minute, you're elf.
It-
You do.
If it's against charms,
This is not a charm.
18.
Pass.
20.
Pass.
14.
And
21.
now those are saving throw numbers, right? That's
Yes,
a
sir.
saving throw
More than that.
14.
Yeah, 21 for me.
Okay. let's-
Wait, saving.
12 plus.
Oh, saving throw. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's-
18 saving throw.
Okay. As you guys drift off to slumber, right? This is a new place, but this is your first time adventuring. However, you know, you got to be a little anxious and aware. Does anybody want to keep, like, any watches during the night, or do you feel safe enough to just go and conk on it?
I say do a watch.
I'll give
Do-
you
do
for
I-
this first night. If you don't want to take a watch, you don't have to. Nothing's going to happen to you.
Do I know that this is not the material plane anymore, the Feywild?
Yes, you know this is the Feywild. You absolutely, with the brochure in your hand, welcome to Prudesmere. Yes, this is the Feywild.
You are here.
Okay. Even though I'm not directly a Fey descendant,
Uh-huh.
but my generation is, it'd probably be best if one of us do at least take a
At
watch.
least a watch, yes.
Yeah.
We left the watch in the fair.
Not that watch.
I'll let you guys know. We'll just kind of hand wave that for now. What I'm loving is that, right, you wonderfully, you all passed your saving throws for this first of 8 nights. Your dreams,
Oh, wait a minute.
not peaceful, right? As you're trying to drift off into slumber, you keep finding yourself locked into that
Oh,
roller coaster ride. You hear the tick, 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 tick,
and for 8 nights.
and then the centipedes fall on you. They're in your mind. Literally, they're crawling into your nose. They're crawling into your mouth. But with your having passed your saving throws, it's not enough to disturb you. You all have a long rest completed. You may update and refresh all of your hit points and spells.
And
as
now we
you wake
officially
up.
get to level up.
As you wake up the next day, you're not exactly sure how much time has transpired because the sun is still locked in its ever constant twilight state just above the horizon. What would you like to do?
Well,
I'm feeling pretty inspired after that dream.
It seems pretty easy enough to, if you want to descend this causeway, that unless you just want to be fancy about it, one could most likely just use the mushrooms and footholds safely enough without making any checks.
Can we do like Does somebody have a proficiency in nature?
No.
No.
Well,
The ranger doesn't have
Wendy?
proficiency in nature?
I
Nature.
don't think I do.
Oh.
Wendy, you should probably do like a nature check on like the mushrooms to see if they're poisonous.
All right.
Brand new area, random giant mushrooms. They could be random giant poisonous mushrooms.
Okay, I will do it. Let's see what it does. I got a 14.
Okay. Mushrooms don't seem to be poisonous. They're pretty sturdy. They seem to be kind of brownish.
Are they nice and slick? Are we gonna slide off of them?
No.
The if you want to feel underneath, there might be a different texture, but the top seems almost similar to that of the stone. It's pretty solid.
Okay,
Okay.
so they've been there for a while. Here's what I suggest we do. It's because it seems like this bridge goes nowhere. It's just falling apart. If y'all trust it, y'all can walk down the mushroom steps. I'm going to fly beside it because I'm not sure what's down there. And the way that water and mud seemed yesterday, if we're there at the wrong time, we could get sucked in.
True.
So if y'all want, we can attach a rope to me just in case.
I will say that you guys woke up, right, finishing your long rest, woke up to the sound of a finalized, as the last bits of this bog seem to recede some, and it seems mucky, but walkable,
Squishy.
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 Yes. Very, very much.
Saying that, I will still basically fly down the steps just in case there's something down at the bottom.
And I'll
just-
go down first, down the mushrooms.
Okay.
If you all would give me perception checks.
Can I make my check? Man, are we making is the perception check happening as we're going down? Because if that is, I'd like to make the perception check while I'm on top of the bridge. If that does matter. 9.
Mine's 22.
Just got distracted by
So
watching.
as you guys, you're beginning to make your way down. You were going to head the track on foot, or just fly. Do whatever you want.
I would much rather fly just in case. And I did roll a
have
nat.
him fly ahead.
I did roll a nat 20, which was equal to 26.
So
You fly ahead and make sure.
you, the two of you, but you were focusing on not slipping fall. Because you get to hover and you keep an eye on everyone being protected, you just keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. That's what you do.
Yep.
Catches your eye on the ordinary is from your peripheral vision. It's something high level, and it's not 100 feet below you. Like, what is that? Turn, and the distant sky, just kind of coming in from where the fog kind of breaks your vision. You spot a great balloon, like a hot air balloon made of patchwork material, just sheets and plants and pants and bloomers and shirts. It is spinning out of control. You see like this puncture, like as it's spinning, and it's causing the basket underneath of it to just swing wildly. It's kind of hard to make out exactly what's going on, but you can tell there's a lot going on in this. And then, almost as soon as you see it, it begins plunging out of sight, disappearing back into the fog, about a mile away from you, and generally in the same direction as that silhouette of that tower was.
Okay. Seeing how far it away is, I'm going to keep that note to myself and just wait until everyone gets down to the ground before I break out the news. I don't want to alert them and make them slip.
Okay. So he lets you guys know that there was a scene. There was a crash balloon. You guys can continue down. So you want to do anything? You just make your way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Make your way down to the bottom. Yeah. So you guys begin getting down to the sticky mud. You start hearing something as you're making your way to the bottom. Right? It's almost like a singing.
Oh.
No, what? Is that an accordion?
Oh no.
What?
What? Okay, that's singing. Somebody's definitely singing. So as you're making your way down,
Singing frogs.
right, the
Accordion.
Delana, who makes it down first, right, notices, right, this sticky mud is squelching between your feet,
You.
right? Tangled mangroves grow out of pools of rippling water, half hidden by the thick fog rolling over the ground. Purple mushrooms cling to rotting logs, and stumps scattered throughout the marsh. Crickets that glow like fireflies chirp serenely before they're snatched out of the air by the tongues of hungry frogs. All right.
What season is it?
I want to know how big the frogs
It's
are.
kind of hard to tell. It's swamp season. It feels warm,
Somebody.
right? Kind of like the heat of a swamp. It ain't cold.
Is it like springy or summery?
Muggy.
It's enough to make you sweat.
It's a hot muggy.
Gotcha.
You gonna
it's,
sweat.
it's a summer.
No, it's not really just summer. That's just
Warm to
swamps.
hot mug, not unbearably, just a constant muggy.
That's just swamps.
So
gonna
Florida,
sweat off.
the Florida
Yeah,
level.
Florida level, Everglades. Yeah. Coming from one direction
I don't like that, man.
are several voices joined in a marching song. The singing grows louder as 6 bipedal rabbits wearing clothes
Why are they riding a cycle?
emerge from the fog. 2 of them tug on the reins of a giant snail. The others carrying clubs and slings. Some of them off to the side. You see one of them with an accordion. One of them's got like a cymbal or something. They're just kind of making their way through the fog, through this muck. They're just singing along, right? Does anybody care to listen in, or you're just going to hide, right? Just wait to see what happens. What would anyone like to do in this moment before I begin singing?
Does one of them have a cowbell? You always gotta have a cowbell.
Oh, good lord.
You do not hear a cowbell.
I'll listen to the words they're singing.
But, you know, as they're going along.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, about this time, it seems like they kind of finish up with a song, and there's just like a pause. Where they're like, sticks and stones will break your nose, will beat you blind and steal your clothes. Yeah. And then the rest of them catch up. But none among us can compare to one wildly swift and stand a pair. The scarf that's glorious, thief notorious, his deeds are truly notorious. And then it starts to change the tempo, the wink and a grin. He'll show you his cunning, a flash of his scarf. He'll take off a running, quick as a bolt, his long scarf trailing, gasping and grasping. You'll end up a flailing. You'll pout, you'll moan, you'll huff, you'll sneer. Thanks to that gone long scarf, brigand prince of Prismeer. And they're like, everybody starts chuckling and laughing about that one. You might want to remember some of what was said in that. But about this time, the last of you stepped down from that mushroom. And what none of you had noticed was what some of us particularly might like to call a pondskagen, right? Big old swamp bird, right? And when I say a big old swamp bird, think pterodactyl-sized swamp bird, about 30 feet away from you, just makes this huge cacophony of sound, flapping off, goes over their heads, and they immediately stop. And seeing this, and look from where it took off, and see the lot of you. In doing this, you know they've seen you. And they know that you're looking in that direction. Is there anything you want to do before they begin talking to each other?
Hi.
One particular female, Haragon, they've gotten close enough that you can tell this one's a female. She goes,
if a frog's
uh,
a female?
This is
hi? And then the other one next to her, like, what's up? There's people? And I'll give that you're close enough that you can kind of hear at least most of this conversation, at least this half of it. And the other one turns back and, yeah, there's people. There's
Right.
And then you turn back and they yell over to the one of them that's with the snail, about 40, 50 feet back. Hey! It's people! There's people! I did! They look pretty lost! God! They dangerous? He looks you over, or she looks you over.
No, we're not dangerous.
No! They look pretty pathetic, actually. What do we do?
All right, listen.
Mog 'em! The one that both their ears perk up. Yeah! Mog 'em! Mog 'em!
While they're over there,
Oh, go ahead.
while they're over there looking away
Huh?
back and forth and each other hollering,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna kind of stand in the shadows a little bit if I can.
Give me a stealth check.
Well, I automatically go stealth if I go in the. So, well, I doubt there'll be anything.
Oh,
Give me a
as,
stealth check.
well, as they're talking and stuff like that.
no.
Blade Ward.
8.
Huh?
I cast my cantrip Blade Ward on me.
Okay. Not an aggressive spell. So,
It's a self buff spell.
So the one that had initially was like sheepishly being hey like she straightens up her very threadbare like piece of outfit. I am Jabek, and you find yourselves in our lands. We claim a tithe for your safe passage. Present it now or suffer the consequences.
And what made
Tell
those?
them it's bad. Bad consequences.
Listen.
Oh, do y'all have any cups?
Cups?
Roll a persuasion check.
What?
Oh, yeah, because his.
19 plus persuasion
Oh.
1. Oh no, plus 3. 22.
Yeah, we got some cups.
Want some wine?
Where are we gonna get wine?
They look at each other, and she's like, yeah.
Don't that thing do any type of alcohol?
I pull out my bottle of witch
My
white
character's
wine.
forgetting I have it because I've gotten used to the drip.
Not you.
Hey, if you want to present as well, you can. The two of them very cheerily walk up and produce two like little drinking cups.
I pull out my bottle of witch white wine out of my bag and pop it.
Okay. You hear the soft calliope music of the carnival as that happens.
And as I pour it, before I pour it in, I said, "Does that cover me?" I can't. 16 plus 3, 19.
Well, she pulls out a little piece of paper.
It's really good stuff.
She unfolds it,
What
hear
to
the
do when
music?
something goes wrong?
and then unfolds it the other way.
What to do?
You can't take tips. The memory of this happening was a pretty happy one, would you say? What if you gave me that?
Fair.
We got one! We got one! She hollers to the back. Oh, I'll get it, hold on. In the back, you guys, you see one of them who was browbeating this snail who seems to be not wanting to participate. He clambers around, digs in a bag, and you see one of the two that was with the snail come up. This other hair god produces what looks like a bottle of some type that's corked. And inside of it, it seems to be some type of liquid or thing. There seems to be a golden cork. And he hands the bottle to you and says, "Remember, please, would you like to? All you have to do is touch. Payment shall be made."
What are you doing?
Join.
You touch the top of the golden cork, and you no longer remember the joy that you remembered from conniving these people of getting your pay without having to give anything away.
Now you gotta pay again.
You know that it's happened, but it's no longer the happy memory you enjoy. You see a bit of mystical swirl go into this bottle as he then looks at it, gives it a little shake.
And I still pour the other two in the wine.
They are super generous for that. Anybody else? And with that, we'll pick up to see what happens with the rest of you and these Paragon bandits next time. Self-critical. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.